So LPT is going to be one of the easier ones to unlock because it only requires 20 people in your front line that are qualifiers to unlock all 7 levels. Now, what do I mean by qualifiers? Because that's kind of the last piece here, which is they have to complete one core transaction where they are receiving a minimum of $2,500 as their compensation for a transaction. So you can't just go sign up any old person with a license and expect that to unlock all your levels. It's all about production. Remember, real estate first is LPT's commitment. And so they don't want people just stacking a bunch of people up in there without actually being productive agents. So they make sure that the people that are under you that are being used to unlock those certain tiers underneath you, they're actual agents actually selling real estate. Now, they don't have to be top producers, but they do got to be participating in the real estate market. They do have to actually be selling houses, which is great because that's probably why they're there in the first place, right? It's to sell more homes, and LPT is the best place to do that. Let's give a quick example. It's going to be super basic. I'm not going to get too crazy into it, but let's just assume that you brought in 10 agents, okay? 5 of them are business builders and 5 of them are brokerage partners, meaning they're paying the $15,000 cap. Here's what your earnings would look like for the year, assuming every single one of them capped. Now, I'm making some assumptions there, right? So 5 of them at business builder. So remember, it's at $775 times 5. So that's $3,875. Then you have the 5 people who are at the rev share partner plan. So that's $2,325. So that totals $15,500 for the year. So if you attracted those 10 agents, then you'd be earning $15,500 per year in revenue share, which is really great. It's actually one of the first milestones I teach people to get to because it's essentially paying off your full cap, right? So now you're doing real estate for free, plus you got an extra $500 in your pocket. That's really cool because here's the reality. It's super easy to attract to a brokerage where there's no sign-up fee, no monthly fee. You could choose a $5,000 cap, have an upline, and get free marketing. Like, it has not been very hard for me or others to be able to do that. So that's a pretty realistic number for somebody who takes it even halfway serious, okay? And I assume that you're watching this video because you want to take revenue share serious. So where it could get interesting though is when those 5 agents start recruiting other people. They start attracting other people in the model because you probably add some type of value like we do at Real Estate CEOs. We have masterminds, we do trainings, we have online courses that you can take, and we provide them for everybody in LPT. But here's the reality. If you're providing a lot of value, chances are your agents that you brought in are going to increase in production, and they're going to become naturally more attractive and therefore attract other people. So let's break down one more scenario, and it's a pretty realistic one for somebody who brought in about 15 people and then it just started growing. Okay, so I'm going to be looking down real quickly because I'm going to actually be looking at the real spreadsheet that was sent to me and that we did the math on. This is somebody's snapshot. It was actually maybe a month or 2 old when I got this, but this is the basic information. And what you'll notice, I'm only going to go down through tier 4 because that's all they had unlocked because they had 15 people, right? They're almost about to get their 16th at that point and unlock their 5th level, but I'm just going to focus on their first 4 and what earnings actually look like. This person brought in initially 15 people. Well, in reality, they brought in like 22, but 15 that actually completed a core transaction that count for unlocking their levels. So I'm going to break down the whole entire kind of recipe for you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So business builder, they brought in 15 people, 8 of them were business builders. I actually think that's pretty common depending on who you're working with. You might bring in a bunch of business builders, you might bring in a bunch of rev share partners, right? Remember, business builders are the people that are on the $5,000 a year plan, the other one on a $15,000 a year cap plan. But anyways, 8 business builder, 7 rev share partners, and just from that top line, that yearly income, again, assuming all these people actually cap, is $22,475. Now in tier 2, this is where it really starts to get big, especially on the business builder side. They had 29 business builders and 13 revenue share partners. That line actually, because it was unlocked, produced $30,600, and that had a lot more to do with like, hey, there's a bigger number, and there was almost double the amount of revenue share partners that were brought into that. Tier 3 was 61 agents on the business builder. Rev share partner was 18. That totaled for about $20,000 for the year. Tier 4, that's the last one we're going to stop on, is 122 business builders. Looks like somebody really went wild there. Maybe a whole brokerage moved over or something like that, and everybody chose that plan, and 16 revenue share partners. So what that totaled, though, if you actually look at that, if you ran that for a whole year, the monthly revenue share would be about $8,579. So call it $8,500 a month, which is just about $102,000, right? So that's what's really interesting is, again, these are not a promise. This is not a promise of income. This is just an example of what someone can do. Now here at this next slide, you'll see that we have the maximum potential per LPT business builder all the way on the right. So it's slightly different than the image we were just looking at. But you also see to the left the maximum potential per LPT brokerage or rev share partner. There, we've already discussed these. Now, the other thing, this is one of the big things that's a new recent change, is aperture agent. For an aperture agent that hits these marks, the maximum earning potential per agent on the tier is over here on the left side. So you'll see tier 1, $6,975. That is crazy. It's almost triple the amount of a LPT broker to rev share partner and almost 9 times the amount of the business builder partner. Then you see tier 2 is $4,050, tier 3 $1,575. That's also the same for 4 and 5 tier. Tier 6 is $2,250 and tier 7 $4,500. This is a big deal. This is a huge game changer, just so you're aware, because this has a big impact. Think about it. Think about it. What if you only recruited 10 agents, but they were all aperture agents? It's almost $70,000 a year. That's amazing. And so what I want to share with you is these are all possible to do. And that's numbers where the person started bringing in 15 people, started helping out. And this is all, assumptive, is that they're helping out, growing the downline, doing events, whatever they might do, whatever you're thinking about doing, whatever you would like us to help you do to build your revenue share. This is a realistic looking breakdown. And it doesn't take very long to start seeing this thing grow. Now, here's the reality. Because LPT is so new, the model is the fastest growing brokerage in U.S. history, just won the Innovator of the Year award over all the other brokerages that you can name. That's one of the reasons why this stuff can get really big, really fast. But I'm not telling you this is what you should focus on. What I am saying is if it's already something that you believe is worth pursuing, then we should talk. The reason why is because I'm part of one of the fastest growing groups inside of LPT. We have some of the best and top producing agents and team leaders inside of our organization, and we are growing like crazy, especially now that LPT is going to open up in another 15 states here in about the next 6 months. So there's still so much opportunity, some really massive opportunity here for anybody who is interested in revenue share. Now, again, one thing that I want to say is, 1, these are not promises of income. 2, this is something that I believe should be secondary or tertiary, right? Third in your business, because you should be focused on production. So learn what LPT is all about and why it's the fastest growing brokerage, why it's so attractive. And then you can say, make an educated decision on like, this is the rev share model I think also makes sense. What's great is it's a very attractive model, even without revenue share. It's growing like crazy amongst agents who couldn't care less about revenue share. But it is awesome for those of us that do participate in revenue share and say, hey, listen, I want to add value to this group of people who's already interested in making a move to a brokerage with no sign-up fee, no monthly fee. You can choose your comp plan, free marketing tools, and the list goes on and on and on, right? Well, let's take our unfair share of that. Let's gain the advantage right here in today's market. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go into the description below. You're going to click that link to book one-on-one time with me. I'll show you everything you need to know about LPT. If I don't have the answer, I will get the answer for you, right? They're coming up with new innovative things that are happening all the time. LPT Plus, Connect 2.0, collab edition of listening power tools, so many amazing things. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, but it's great because I always have YouTube content. But here's the reality. I'm also going to show you how there's over 1,100 people in the Real Estate CEOs group, some people that are massive producers, and we come alongside people just like you to help grow your business and obviously participate in revenue share at the highest possible level. So what we'll do is we'll talk about that. We'll talk about LPT. We'll talk about whether or not we're the right fit as your sponsors. So one more time, go in that description below, click that link, book some one-on-one time with me. Super excited to learn more about you, your business, and see if we're going to be the right fit. Until next time, keep crushing in real estate.